Hello, everyone. I'm Lindsay Rich with Sheridan High School, and I was going to come on here and explain Canvas. This is the tool that we use at our school district for digital learning and just in-class learning. We used to use Google Classroom, but we adopted Canvas this year, and I was going to go through with y'all, and for some of you that do use Canvas, and just kind of give you a rundown, or if you're going to have Canvas this year at your school district, and just kind of go over it briefly. I could talk about it for days because there's just so much to it, but I'm going to try to stay on my 30-minute time frame and go through it with that. Okay, I am going to share my screen and get y'all to see what I see. It'll pop up. Give me just a second. Okay, what's going on here? Okay. Let me close all this stuff out. All right, so I'm going to go to the home page. All right, so this is our dashboard, as we call it, and we have a specific email address, or not email, but website address that we use to get to it. So at your school, you may have something, similar to this, but ours is SheridanSchoolsInstructure.com. It uses our login information for our school email, and we use Google, so it uses our Google account to sign into this. So I'm just going to go down the side here, the sidebar, to show you everything. All of my courses are gone because of the summer, and I had to export them, and I'm going to be able to import them back into my new dashboard when school starts back. But I do have one that they left on here, so I'm going to go through that. Hopefully they don't delete it in the middle of this session, but I'm going to show you what I have in it and how I do all this stuff. Okay, so the dashboard, this is going to show you all your courses that you have for the year. I have created 2 courses. I didn't publish this one yet because obviously we're not meeting anymore, but I have an FCCLA course that I can put all of my kiddos in that are in FCCLA, and we use GroupMe on my phone to message back and forth too. But like this, if I needed to share like some kind of paperwork or something they need to fill out or forms or anything, I could publish it in here, and then they could access it that way. Especially this year, if they were virtual, they could access it a lot easier instead of having to come up to the school and getting a copy of it and then bringing it back to me. They could fill it out and use it and do it that way. Okay, so these are the courses. Typically, this year I had 3 food safety and nutrition classes, and then I'd have a food production class, and I had 2 FACS classes or FCS classes. So this is where you find all your courses. So down here too, you can click on where it says publish or the courses, and it'll show you all this stuff too on the side. I use this button if I'm in other things, just to go back to my course that I was referencing to. So you can get to it that way or on your dashboard. Okay, calendar. I don't have anything in the calendar because there's nothing due. But once you start assigning things to kiddos, they will pop up in this calendar, and whatever due date you have it as, it'll show on the calendar what's due that day. So whenever you assign something and it's due on, like you assign something today, Thursday, and it's due, Tuesday the 15th, it would have the assignment in this list right here showing you what was due. I was going to see if I could show you. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's an example. So like all of this stuff that I signed. It shows up in the calendar. And once it's done, it draws a line through it and marks it out. So that's how you do the calendar. For inbox, and I'm trying not to show things from, just because of privacy. But if a kid has a question or if I need to tell them something, they can send me a message through Canvas out of their Canvas account, and we can talk back and forth through this. It's a lot easier to use instead of my email address, because all of my emails get so jumbled up throughout the day. This is how I would prefer them to contact me, so I can answer them quicker than going through 1,000 emails to try to find their name. It will pop up in your email that somebody has sent you a message, so it notifies you in 2 spots. And over here on the inbox, it'll have like a number, if you haven't checked anything, to show, who has emailed you or how many people have emailed you or whatever. It's like a notification. So, yeah, you can talk to people in here. How you compose, you're just going to hit compose new message. You select the course that you're going to pick somebody out of, and whatever course it is, it's going to have the list of kids in that. So all you have to do is just type their name or look over here in this little box, and it'll pull up something, and you can scroll down and find somebody that you're trying to email. And then you just do this like a normal email. You do subject line and send them your message. You can even attach stuff. So like some kids can't find some things, you can attach the assignment in here and be like, here it is, if you didn't see it. So that's how you use the inbox of Canvas. It's just like an email. History just shows you what you've done over the time you've been using Canvas. Commons. Okay. So Commons to me is just like a area that you can go into and find courses or find things that people have sent to Commons that you could use. There are a few things for family and consumer sciences that people have put in here, but I would be careful, I would go through it and see if it actually goes with the standards or whatever, and just make sure that it aligns with your class. But there's so many things in here. ICEV has some stuff in here. People have posted stuff, and they just, they send it to Commons. And that's how you do it. If you want to upload it into your course, you would just click on it, and then you can import it to your course. I'm not going to do that because it takes forever, but you can import it back into your course that you want to use it for if you want to use it. And what it is people have set up things in their, in their courses, and they shared it, and they have stuff in here. And you can click on the stuff and see what it is. And if you like everything about it, you can import it all. And if you do import it all, you can go back in and delete whatever you don't want to use, because the students are going to see everything. But yeah, you can import it all and then delete what you don't want to, and then you can publish it. But this is nice to have, just a reference to other things that maybe other people have developed, and you might want to use it. And then down here is the help button, and you can look for things that are maybe you're not sure about, and you can go to the help button. And then the last thing is like global navigation. Our administration uses global announcements daily whenever we're using Canvas. I mean, this is what we did this year. They will post an announcement for everybody to see, teachers and students, and it will usually pop up here where I'm drawing my little arrow to show what the announcement is, and students will see that as soon as they log into their Canvas. It also sends you an email showing you what was posted, and then so they get it in 2 spots. These little 3 bars, it shows you how you can view this. You can do a list view. I don't really like this view, but I mean, some people might, to show what you have to do. And then you can, I like the card view myself, but you can do however you want. Card view seems to be more condensed and you can use it a lot easier. Okay, so that's the breakdown of just everything on the sidebar over here. I don't know if y'all can, if you notice this over here, there's a to-do list. This gets overwhelming for me because anytime somebody turns something in, it pops up over here and it says you need to grade it. And if you download Canvas on your phone, you're going to be beside yourself because it shows how many notifications. If you're like me, I don't like having 1,000 notifications on my phone. But I was going to show what it looks like. There's 2 different apps that you can download. One is the teacher app. I don't know if you can see this. It looks like, I'm going to get out of it. It looks like an orange circle, and then there's a student view. I use the student one because I'm enrolled in a master's course at Henderson, and we use Canvas there. So there's 2 different apps that people can, and there's even a parent app that you can download as a parent. So there's different apps that you can do for different parts of Canvas. I probably made the mistake and downloaded it on my phone, and I shouldn't have, but I did. Okay, so that's the to-do list is for you, and it shows you like everything you need to grade, and I try not to look at that because it stresses me out. Okay, so let's go into one of the courses. We'll just do my food safety nutrition course and see what I have going on here. Okay, so I don't make it fun and cutesy because I don't have time for that. But if you want to do it, that's more power to you. You can put your little Bitmoji, whatever, your classroom thing on there and do it that way. But as much as I teach and as much as I do, I don't have time to mess with all that. So the page thing here is what this is when you first log into the course. The students will see this as soon as they go into the course, and it's that this is a page. So if whatever you want this page to look like is, you go to edit, and then you can do whatever you want to it. This is what I do. Every week I put the date and the lesson plan for the whole week, and I put kind of just what we do on that day. And we had virtual Fridays this year, so every Friday I just made them get caught up on their work, and they did a bell ringer. And that's what they did. So what I do is I put my lesson plans in for the week, and I date it. And as you can see, this does not match because I probably was slacking the last couple of days of school. It was right at the top, but not right here. So you would save this. And all I did too was I put in a chart. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like a Word document or a Google Doc. You can go in, insert. You can put a table, which is what I did. You can link stuff in it. You can put a document in here, whatever. So this is just the home page that the kids see as soon as they log in. And my kids liked this because they knew what to do, what we were doing for the whole week. If I felt like doing too much, stressed them out because they have all these other classes too that they have to worry about. And if they can log into my class and it's straight to the point and it says what we're doing, then they're good. And it's easy for them to navigate and be able to see what we're going to be doing instead of trying to search for it. Our school did not require all of us to have the same format of what we did in our Canvas material. And sometimes that was really overwhelming for the kids because every teacher did it a different way. And I hope that they don't make us do it all the same because, everybody's different and all what we teach is different. And it is overwhelming for kids to have to do something different for every class. But I mean, it's life, and they're going to have to just do it and get over it, and get over it. But okay, so back to the home page. Okay, so this is my home page for food safety and nutrition class period 1. Okay, we're going to start with modules. This is how I set my classes up, and you can set them up however you want to, but this is what worked for me. And if you want to change it, by all means do that, but I'm just showing you what I did. So at the beginning, now this is where I where I kind of thought it was going to work out, and it didn't, so then I had to change some stuff. In the beginning, I started a module, and how you do that is you click on module, and then you name it whatever you want it to be, and then you add it. Well, at the beginning, I put add prerequisites. And what that means is that they had to complete everything in that module before they moved on to the next module. Well, over time, that got to be problematic because students were still trying to get logged in, and they couldn't figure out why they couldn't move on to the next, and it was just a mess. So I finally just turned it off, and we didn't do prerequisites anymore. As you can see, after week 5, I quit doing that. So you can do that, but I don't recommend it just because it's a headache, and you have to go back and unlock stuff, and it's just more work for you if the kids are not doing what they need to. And anyways, but to start that, you click on module, like I said, type in the name of it and add it. Well, at first, I thought I wanted to do modules by units. Well, I decided that was not going to work either, so I started just doing weeks. And I would put in like what unit it was and the week it was, so like they could get an idea. But if I just started putting week 11, you can see the unit in here of what it is what I did for it. But I just started doing mine with weeks, and I gave the date. Now, like I said, this may work for you or it may not, but this is what I did. And it just seemed to help the kids keep up with what they were doing for the week, instead of going in and searching for their assignments that they needed to do and whatnot. Okay, talking about assignments. So there are so many assignments that they get in my classes just because of what we do. So you can click on the assignments button, and mine's selected for all grading periods. Well, you want to select what grading period it is, so we'll just say 4th quarter since this is the last one. And then you can, usually it can post it in the order that it should be due or whatever, but sometimes it doesn't. Like mine's not right now, just because I think all of our stuff's messed up because they're trying to change it all over for next school year. But it'll list every assignment that they need to do, but it tells them what day it's due. So they can view it like this, but if it was me, I would rather view it in my module form, just because I know what week it's in and like the date. So like week 39, I know I got to do these 2 things. Okay. I know I'm going through this really quickly, but I'm trying to get everything in. All right, discussions. I do this all the time in my college classes that I'm in. Sometimes we do it in my classes, and you can see right here, I only did a few this year. I kind of got them used to doing it because I told them that if they do any online classes at school and college, they'll do a bunch of discussion boards. So that's what I did, some of these for them to get acclimated to it. So to create one, all you do is do the same thing like you would the module. You hit discussion, and then you're going to select the topic, and you're going to write the question or whatever you want them to answer. you're going to post it to all sections. If you wanted it to be just food safety and nutrition, that's what I would do. And you can click any of these options. You can read what they say and figure out what you want to allow. You're going to put when it's available, which would be today's date. And then you're going to tell me like when it's due. I'd say, I don't know, Sunday. So after you select what you want to do, then you hit save and publish. If you don't want to publish it yet, then you just hit save. But that's how you do discussions. And on mine, I always make sure that they have to comment on at least 2 other people's feed, just so they can get their credit for writing a response. And I always tell them too that you can't just say I agree. You have to go more detail of why you agree or why you disagree. You can't just say I agree and get credit for that. So that's how you do the discussion part. Announcements. A lot of times I would put stuff in here. Just here's one when I was quarantined. Because I had to get sent home. So I would say, you know, if I'm not there, I want you to do this, this, and this, and I would send them an announcement. I already went through assignments. Okay, grades. And just because I'm going to go in here and see if I can find people's. All right, so the grades. You want to make sure, hit back. You want to make sure that you're in the correct quarter that you're grading. So obviously this is the 4th quarter, the last one that we did. So you want to make sure that everybody's got their grade or if they turned something in. Okay, so here's the deal. Can you see this little file thing right here? I'm not real sure why stuff still shows up like that even after you've graded it, but it does. I'm just going to go into a current event assignment that I did. So when you're in the grades, or even just the actual assignment, there's a thing over here called Speed Grader. And you click on Speed Grader, and it'll pull up everybody's assignment. So you're going to go through their assignment to what you wanted them to do. And then you're going to give them their grade, and you can even write a comment. So if you've already been through all the people's grades, then you can drop down this box here and find the person that you need to grade and find them and grade it. And if you haven't graded everything, you can just keep hitting the arrow button over and going through everybody's assignments. So that's how you do Speed Grader. I don't know if you can see up here, but if you ever click on grades or the assignment that you're trying to grade, it's going to open up 5 bazillion tabs up here at the top. So you just have to be mindful of what you're doing, because you'll look up and you'll be like, good grief, there's so many tabs open. It's because you've been opening up assignments and grading them. Okay, so you can also grade things for participation. And just type it in right here and type in the number that you gave them for whatever they did. But yeah, and then I have mine set up. Now, I don't know if you want to do this, but you can. I have mine set up that you can, it's a 0 if it's missing. And all I did was I clicked on this, the settings button over here, and I said grading percentage for missing submission is 0. And that's what I put. So you can make it like that, or you can leave it off and then go back in and change that, but you don't have to. It's totally up to you. And you also need to make sure for the view that you are showing what you want to be shown on like you can arrange it however you want. The module first to last, assignment A to Z, dates, newest to oldest, or oldest to newest. I can change that. And then you can also make sure that you put the grading period, so you can go back and click on which one you're going to be grading from. I would highly suggest that, because sometimes you can't figure out what marking period you're in. So that way you can do it that way. But yeah, grading could be a little bit better in this Canvas, learning system, but it is what it is. So you can also grade like individual view, or you can do, grade book. I would highly recommend the grade book because it shows everybody's. And I would get stressed out if I only had to do one at a time. Okay, so that's the grades part of it. And then I'm just going to go back to the food safety and nutrition pages. Already went through that. That's what this is, the home page when you get there. Rubrics. Most of my assignments had like a rubric attached to it, so I don't really have to put one in here, but you can create a rubric, and all you do is just add rubric and go from there. You can put what it is and create it and put it with the assignment. But that's how you do a rubric. Quizzes, same thing. You can create a quiz. I'll show you what one looks like that was created in here. I have a bunch of tests and quizzes that are already made up, so that's what I use. I didn't want to have to reinvent my quizzes and tests, so I just did it that way. This took me forever to make, so that's why I was like, well, I'm just going to use what I already have, because I already have tests that look like this. So what you would do is you can edit, create your question. You can paste in a picture as you see here and go to next, and it shows you, everything that I had in this test. So that's how you do the quizzes part. And it grades it right away. If you want them to, you can edit it. You can also give kids more attempts. You can give them more than one attempt to do it. If you think that they aren't going to do so hot, or they didn't do so hot, whatever. And then you can also put in questions that you have to grade later, especially if it's a discussion question, because obviously multiple choice you can grade just like that. But if it's a discussion question, you're going to it'll grade the multiple choice, and then you'll have to go back in and grade what they answered, like short answer or a discussion type question. So I like it, but I just have so many tests that are already made. I just didn't want to have to take the time to make more. But that's how you do the quiz section. Okay, people. This just shows you everybody that's in the class. It also shows their parents if they're observing them. Just everybody that's in there. You can see right here it says observing. That's the mom observing somebody. You can put a syllabus in here and show, what the syllabus is or what it, entails, but you don't have to. These are the files that you have. Everything that you post, everything you put in, it's going to be right here. Outcomes, I don't ever use this button. It talks about or how to track the course, get started, all that kind of stuff. And then conferences. Okay, so we are using Zoom and Google Meet. Well, there's a conference section in here, and if your school opts in to do this, you can use this, and it's called Big Blue Button. And what it is it's just like Google Meet or Zoom, and you just invite the kiddos in there, and you can use it like that. I'm not a big fan because it lags really bad, and it if everybody's using the video at the same time, it tends to lag out and kick people out. So I'm not a big fan of Big Blue Button, but some people are. So if you want to try to use that, more power to you. Collaborations. This is just, you can work with another class. I've never used this, but that's what this is. You can collaborate with other things, you know, group work, things like that, but you can do that. And then all this other stuff is just things that you can use. Google Drive is obviously embedded into this. Thank goodness, because we're a Google school, and everything that the kids do is used from Google Cloud or Google, like Docs and Google Slides, things like that. So we need to make sure that this is in here so they can upload. Talking about making an assignment. I know this is a lot, and it's it's hard to explain all this in one sitting. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to go back to my modules. Let's just say I want to make a new assignment for my last module that I have, which is week 39. So I'm going to go into the plus sign, and I'm going to create an assignment. So it says add an assignment. So here's the thing. You can add an assignment, quiz, file, page, discussion, text header, external URL, and the tool. I always do an assignment, and I go to create an assignment, and we'll just say that it's a bell ringer. You can call them do nows, whatever you want to call it. It's just something that they do while I'm trying to get started on the class, take roll, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to say bell ringer, and I'm going to add item. Once you add it, you got to click on it to be able to go in and edit. So you edit it. And then I can't really do anything today because, you know, grading stuff's over, but I'm just showing you what to do. So you can type whatever you want to in here, and then you can put how many points it's worth, but this is all grayed out because the grading period's over, so I can't click on it. I usually make mine 5 points just because I do it every day. So you put the points in, the assignments group, that's what you're going to put it as. Unless it was a 9 weeks or semester, then you can click that. You also want to make sure that you put a submission. I always do online, even if some kids could turn it in paper-wise, like they're in school and they could turn it in by paper. I always put online. So when they do turn it in, they can say, I turned it into the tray, or I gave it to you, whatever. It's turned in on the table because there's a poster, whatever. They can do that. I have made the mistake, and I still do this because it's a lot of steps. The kids will be like, there's not a submission button. And I'm like, oh yeah, because I didn't put one. So this is important to have, you know, something for them to turn something in. I click every single one of these because I don't want the kids to not be able to upload it in a way that they, you know, that they can. So I click all of those to open it. I also assign it to everyone. The due date, just like that other thing I showed you, you're going to click on it and put when it's due. I always put when it's available the day that I make it, or like if it's for the next day, I'll put it for the next day. Okay, this until button, excuse me. This means that they have until this day to work on it, and then it locks. Well, in our district, we have had a lot of problems with this because, you know, the virtual thing, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I stopped even putting things in this box because if it's due and it's past due, then you just get points taken off. And then, you know, I can decide to, if it's way past due, then you just don't get anything for it. But this thing right here, if you click on it, it means that it's locked and the kids can't have access to it anymore. Okay, so when you do that, you hit save and publish, and then it goes into the module that you created it in. So I'm going to go back to my modules and show you where it is. So it's down here where I created it. So this This little button right here is grayed out because I have not published it. Obviously, I'm not going to. But when you do publish it, it looks like this and has a green check mark. So that shows that it's published and that the kids can see it. Okay, so since I told y'all I have several sections of this one class, I'm going to show you how to copy it to those sections so you don't have to recreate it every single time that you want to make an assignment for that class. So there's 3 bars on these modules that you make, and you click on them, and sometimes, I don't know why it does that, but it jumps around. I think it's because of my laptop. Come on, work with me. Okay, we'll just say that. So I clicked on these 3 buttons here, or the 3 dots, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it too. And I'm going to pick a course. Well, I'm just going to pick FCCLA because that's the one that's on there. And then I'm going to copy it to it. And then it's going to send it to it. And then I don't have to worry about going in and doing the same assignment for every class. Okay, there's a way that you can combine all of your classes into one big group. I'm not sure that I want to do that just because I feel like it'd be overwhelming. But some teachers want to do that so they don't have to copy things like I just showed you to each class. But I know it's a lot of steps, but for me, it helps me have some sanity just to know that this is for my first period class and this is for second and third and so on and so forth. And if you combine them all together too, it's going to show all of those kids in the grade book. And I don't know, I just feel like it'd be overwhelming to me, but you can do that, and your administrator or whoever's over Canvas can do that for you or show you how to do that at the beginning of the year. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more things and then I think I will be done. So I'm going to click on people. All right. I don't know if you can see these little tabs up here, but I have them, tabbed out. So I have some that require modifications, and I've got them right here. So you can drag people into this group that you know that need mods, and you can make a new group and it shows it up here. My on-site kids, I can drag them all into the on-site, and then my virtual kids, I can drag all of them into the virtual. So then when you create assignments and you don't want to, give it to all the on-site kids, but you just want the virtual kids to have it, then you can just select them and send it to them. So that's how you group them. I hope that makes sense. And then you can also click on the actual kiddo and go to edit sections. And I can make her be on-site or virtual, whatever, and update it. So then, like, whenever I could send a group email, like a group message to all the on-site kids. And in my message, I'll show you. If I can get there. So like if I wanted to compose something and I'm selecting my course, I'm just going to do food safety and nutrition. And then I'm going to hit 2 student groups. I can do virtual and click them, all virtual. And then I can hit my subject and do it that way. So there's ways to group all these kids together. And honestly, y'all, I just had to play around with this a lot to be able to do all this stuff. And if you're just learning this, I know all this that I'm telling you is super overwhelming. I get it. And you're not going to do all this in one day. So just don't freak out. I promise it gets better as you go, and you can learn as you go. But I use this, like I said, for my grad school classes. So I started doing this before we even incorporated Canvas in our school. So of course I was the person that had to teach a lot of the teachers how to do things because I knew that I knew how to do this. I was going to show you one more thing before I get off here. There is a student view. I don't know if y'all can, there's little like glasses up here in the corner. So you can click on that and it shows you what the students see. So this is what they see when they log into your course for the dashboard or the homepage. Over here is all their buttons that they have that they can click on. Okay, speaking of buttons or the list on the side, I didn't say this either. You see all the ones that have the eyeball marked out? Well, those are the things that I think that they don't need to have access to because I don't use it, or I just don't feel like they need to be able to use it. The people thing, now, I mean, I don't care that they know who's in their class, but I don't want them to be able to like message. I don't know. I'm just weird about this. Their parents observe them, and you can see those people too. And so I just don't think that that's something that they need to have access to. So I just marked that out. I didn't use the syllabus thing, so I marked it out. And okay, I know that I put files and stuff on here, and it'd be easy for them to go into that to find it. But it also shows every single file that I use, and I don't want them to be able to go in and manipulate those files. So make sure that they can't see that either. But yeah, if we don't use it, then I don't have it in there. And I was going to show you how to get rid of those. You just go to settings, and you can let me see the navigation. So like all this stuff that you don't want them to see, like I can just drag it down here if I don't want them to be able to see anything. And then this is all their lists that they have. And then you just hit save, and then that shows on the side what they can see. But if they have little eyes marked out, that means that they don't have it. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. All right, that was a lot of information, and I hope that it helped you. And if you have any questions, you can email me, lindsayrich@sheridanschools.org, and it's Lindsay with an A. A lot of people misspell my name, so that might be why I don't get it. I would show you some stuff that I use for the course, but I'm okay. A lot of the stuff that I use for food safety and nutrition, I teach towards ServSafe. Well, if you are not ServSafe certified, I can't give you some of the stuff that I use just because it's a rule, and the people that got this worked hard for it, and I don't want to, it's a national thing, and I don't want to do that to them. So if you do have some stuff and you're ServSafe certified, I can send you some things that I use. I use a lot of interactive notebooks this year just because, I had so many kids that were virtual. And I also had, everything that we turned in was on Canvas. And so that way I could have everybody do the same thing. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about food labs and what I did. Okay, so these kids knew what this class entailed, like what we did in here when they signed up for it and when they decided to go virtual. They knew that we cooked and that we did food labs. And I know some of y'all just made them not do it, but I guess I'm mean and I made them do something because it is part of the curriculum and they need to know how to do this stuff. So what I did was I posted the recipe and I posted a video of me doing it. and they had access to that, and they had a choice of going and buying the ingredients if they could. Now, okay, I get it. Some people can't afford the stuff. Some people can't go out and get things like they need to, or it's not available where they're located, whatever. I even did a equipment kitchen type assessment thing at the beginning of the year, and I said, do you have this stuff available at home, yes or no? And I sent something out, and they checked if they had it or not. And the only people that didn't have it were 5 kids, and they were all on site, so I didn't have to worry about that. But I did say, you know, if you had problems getting things, then you could do this. So I had them do that assignment just like the kids at school did, and they had to record themselves or take a collage picture from the very beginning of the cooking process to the end and somebody eating it. If they could not get the ingredients, they couldn't afford whatever, I had this thing that was called a pantry challenge. And what they did was they found whatever they had at the house and they had to make something. And my only rule is it had to be 3 ingredients, and they couldn't do the same thing more than once. So I had a form that they filled out. It had questions. It even had something for their family members to say that if it was good or what they would change about it. But I can share that with y'all too. It's called a fridge pantry challenge or whatever. And that was their alternate assignment. And honestly, they could use grilled cheese. Like that could be what they had: bread, cheese, and butter or mayonnaise, whatever they used to make it. I mean, that could be something. So, yeah, it's possible to teach this virtually. It's very hard, but it's possible. It was a lot of work and it was a lot of stuff I had to do to be able to make it work, but we made it work. And the kids seemed to enjoy it. You know, like I said, I just didn't have I don't have an excuse for them to be able to not do anything. And that's why I said, you can do what we do in class, or you can click on this and do the alternate assignment, which is make something that you have at the house. And it could be anything as long as it was 3 ingredients. And they just had to take a picture from beginning to end or a video, make a collage of it and upload it, and, you know, the entire cooking process. That's what I did. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. Like I said, lindsayrich@sheridanschools.org. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm in grad school, so I'm trying to do those assignments too. So if I don't answer you right away, I promise I will eventually. I hope you learned something, and I hope that helped you with your Canvas material. And if you have any questions, like I said, please do not hesitate to ask me. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.